Hello students, welcome back to English class. Hope you are safe and sound. Students, today let's go through a poem. Before that, let's know about this background picture. Can you identify? What do you feel about this background picture? What do you know? What do you tell about this? Yeah, it's windy and it is dark night. So it is windy night. It is windy night. And now let's go through one more picture. Can you name this person, who this person is, and do you find these people nowadays? Might be no, because in old days when there were no bikes or cars, people went about on horse-drawn carriages or on horsebacks, on horseback. Okay, so these people, these highwaymen during stormy nights, they used to stop these travelers. They used to stop and rob these travelers. They used to rob these travelers. So people were afraid of these highwaymen. People were afraid of these highwaymen. They used to make sure that there won't be any interruptions by the passers-by, and if few travelers were passing by, they used to stop them, rob them, and sometimes they used to hang and kill them even. Such dangerous people these highwaymen are. So in this poem, R.L. Stevenson, he expressed his fears about these highwaymen during stormy nights, during windy nights. Okay, he expressed in a beautiful way with beautiful metaphors and all these. A good figures of speech is also used even. And this poem, it is put to music by it is put to music for choir performances, especially choir performances means no, many singers they stand and they used to sing this one. So I found a tune for this. I didn't find it myself, but I searched for it, so I just tried it for you. Okay, and after my singing, you can also try it to memorize it. You can also sing it to memorize this poem. Okay, so I'll start it now. Whenever the moon and stars are set, whenever the wind is high, all night long in the dark and red, a man goes riding by. Late in the night when the fires are out, why does he gallop and gallop about whenever the winds are high? Windy nights, whenever the trees are crying aloud, and ships are tossed at sea, by on the highway low and loud, by at the gallop goes he. By at the gallop he goes, and then by he comes back at the gallop again. When the wind is high, windy nights, windy nights, windy nights. I hope you enjoyed this. And this beautiful poem, it was written by R.L. Stevenson. And now let's know few things about R.L. Stevenson. He is a Scottish novelist, poet and travel writer, and he was mostly noted for his Treasure Island and Kidnapped, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Child's Garden of Verses even. He was born on 13 November 1850 and died on 3rd December 1894. Okay, that's all about, there was more enough, but this is enough for you about R.L. Stevenson. Okay, and now let's go through this poem, the explanation of this poem. Whenever the moon and stars are set, whenever the wind is high, all night long in the dark and wet, a man goes riding by. So the poet, he says, whenever the moon and stars are set. Moon and stars are set means whenever there was no moon and stars in the sky, whenever the wind is high, whenever it is very windy, whenever it is very windy, all night long in the dark and wet. All night long in the dark and wet means when it is dark, cloudy, and it is wet, it is rainy. When it is rainy, a man goes riding by. The poet feels a man goes riding by. Is he really a man or not? Let's see. He feels whenever there were no stars and moon in the sky, and whenever the wind is very high, whenever it is stormy, all night long in the dark and wet, when it is raining, a man goes riding by on a horseback. Late in the night, when the fires are out, when he hears a man riding by, not early in the night, late in the night when the fires are out, when the people put off the fires, and when they are sleeping, at that time the poet hears a man goes riding by. Why does he gallop about? Why does he go very fast on this horseback? Why he gallops? Why he goes very fast? The galloping sound. Okay, you can hear the galloping sound even. So why does he gallop about when there were no stars, and when it is raining, and when the wind is very high, and when people were sleeping, and also when they put out the fires, and when they go to bed? Why this man he goes riding by? Okay, and the next stanza. Whenever the trees are crying aloud, do the trees cry? No, it is a sound made by the trees when the wind it passes through them. That is the sound it is made by trees. You can hear the sound made by the trees when it is windy. And ships are tossed at sea. When ships are tossed at sea. Ships are tossed at sea means when they are moved up and down. When the ships are moved up and down by the waves. When it is very windy, the ships will be moved up and down. Okay, like this. Like this they are moved up and down when it is very windy, because of the forceful movement of these waves. So whenever the trees are crying aloud and ships are tossed at sea, by on the highway low and loud. So by on the highway low and loud. So by on the highway low and loud, by at the gallop goes he. So sometimes in a low pace and sometimes loudly the poet used to hear the galloping sound. By on the highway low and loud, by at the gallop goes he. He goes by, he rides by very fast. Okay, the highwayman, he rides by very fast. Sometimes slowly, sometimes in a low volume he used to hear, and sometimes loudly the poet used to hear the sounds. By at the gallop he goes, and then by he comes back at the gallop again. So by he goes, and then again by he comes back. He rides by very fast, he goes, and then again with the same pace he comes back again. Why does he gallop about? Why he rides by very fast? Okay, so when the man is galloping towards, he used to hear slowly the volume of that sound, the galloping sound. It used to be low, and gradually it used to when it is coming nearer, it used to be very loud. So by on the highway low and loud, by at the gallop goes he. By at the gallop he goes, and then by he comes back at the gallop again. At the same pace, with the same pace he used to come back again. So why does he gallop about? But who is this man? Is he really the highwayman? No, he is not the highwayman. The wind is picturized as a man riding on horseback, as highwayman. The wind is picturized by the poet as highwayman. Okay, and it is also picturized as a mysterious and dark force which is inescapable and inevitable. The wind is picturized by the poet as a highwayman. The wind makes the trees cry and the wind makes the ships toss. Okay, so like that, the poet picturized the wind as a highwayman, and the poet, he used to imagine that somebody else, the highwayman, is galloping, he is passing by, but it is not the highwayman but the wind. It is picturized, it is compared to a highwayman. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this poem, children. Now go through the poem, and to memorize it you can sing this poem if you have liked the tune. Okay, thank you for now. Meet you in the next class.